Good morning. Oh, the hair. Just ignore the hair. Don't look at the hair. Oh. Hi, it's Wednesday, November the 4th. I just got up a little bit ago, so I'm still kind of dry-eyed and, whatever. There's Chloe on the bed back there. She's checking World out, so. I hope you guys made it through daylight savings time, those of you who are subjected to this horrible, horrible God playing, look, we're going to make time something entirely different routine that we seem to want to go through in the United States. I hate daylight savings time. And I hope you made it through Halloween and Samhain. I hope you guys had a great holiday. We had about 100 trick-or-treaters come through our house. We had some really cute costumes, some really great costumes come through. And for the most part, all of our kids were real polite, which was great. I love it when kids are polite. We only had one kid that was really kind of a jerk, and his little buddies egged him on. But, you know, one small little group of maybe 3 or 4 boys out of 100 kids, that ain't bad. I'm not going to complain about that. So, we're coming into the holiday season. This is the time when those of us who are crafters start to lose our minds because we're like, oh my God, we have all this stuff that we want to make. We have all of these things that we want to create, and we're actually counting days at this point. We are so close to Christmas or Yule or Hanukkah or whatever it is that you celebrate that excuse me, sorry, I'm still froggy. That, you know, it's a little bit stressful to try and get all of our crafts done. And a lot of us like to create crafty things because, well, yeah, because we love the people we're creating them for, but because for a lot of us, it's more cost efficient for us to create things than to go out and try and buy things for people. A lot of us can't really afford to just go out and go shopping. So I like to create things, and one of the things I'm going to be making this year, I did it many, many years ago, and I haven't done it since, and I'm going to make some more now. I am going to make what's known as a perpetual calendar. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, a perpetual calendar is a calendar that you can continue to use year after year after year because it has little pips or something on it that you can move around, and you can change what the date is. This perpetual calendar is made out of plastic canvas, and this is actually a calendar my grandmother had made about, oh, I don't know, maybe about 20, 25 years ago. So, you know, it's got a little bit of age on it. Here's the back side of it. And the way this works is the only things that are stationary are these letters here, these little artsy pieces, and these tracks. When you see these horizontal lines, all of those horizontal lines are static and they don't move. However, all of the numbers, the letters move. Same thing on the back here. That's just storage. Okay, and then there's just a little plastic ring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the basic formula for how this works. And this is something that's relatively inexpensive to make. You're going to need probably about 5 sheets, maybe that's a bit much, maybe 4 sheets of plastic canvas. You can get real pretty colored plastic canvas, like this one's purple. I have a green one here. Sheets of plastic canvas are pretty good size. They're bigger than standard paper by a little bit. But you'll want 2 sheets of whatever your background is going to be. And then you'll want 2 to 3 sheets of a white or a clear. This one's using white, which looks really sharp on the purple. Okay. I'm actually using clear for the one I'm going to show you here, the green one. So, 2 full sheets of green, 2 to 3 full sheets, or whatever color you're doing, 2 to 3 full sheets of white or clear or contrasting color. Out of that, you're going to cut 2 squares that are 15 by 16. And when I say 15 by 16, I am counting these little holes. So there are 15 little holes going this way, 16 little holes going this way. Okay? So you need 2 15 by 16s. You need 3 that are, or I'm sorry, 2 that are 3 by 20. Now the way you do this, you just take some really nice scissors, take long scissors if you can for this, and cut your plastic canvas. Here's one that I haven't finished off. I've got it rough cut. I just cut the, you see this edge is still rough. So I'm going to go through with either a pair of nips or even a long pair of scissors, and I'm just going to cut those little guys right off. Doop, 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 doop. Like the sound effects? How's that work for you? There. See how that works? It's in my keyboard now. Dang it. Yeah, well. So anyway, you're going to want... you want 2 of these. These are 3 little holes by 20 little holes. Okay? You're going to want 12 that are 20 by 8. And that's going to be for your months. Okay? You're going to want 15 of these that are 3 by 66. Huh. Let's try that again. 3 by 66, so they'll look kind of like those. Okay? You're going to want 48 that are 8 by 9. That'll be for all of your little numbers. And then lastly, you're going to want 7 little 5 by 5 squares that you're going to carve into letters. They're going to be little letters. I thought I've got some odd pieces in here. So here's a little 5 by 5. I haven't bothered trimming it down because I'm going to cut it down for letters for the 7 days of the week. Okay? So the way you're going to put this together is you're going to start by picking any kind of a design that you like, and you're going to do your plastic canvas design on your first little 15 by 16 squares. Okay? I have done skulls, I have done trees, I've done flowers, stars. My grandmother liked to do swans. I've seen gingerbread men. I've seen these done in a lot of different ways. So you're going to start by creating what that is, and you're going to put it on. And you're going to put it on 2 squares down and 2 squares over. And you're going to stitch it onto just a single sheet. One sheet, okay? And then from there, you're going to add your first little line, okay? And that one is stitched on, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 from the top through the middle. Okay? And then you're going to stitch on all of your lines. So when you put your first line on, okay, you stitch your first line on 4 from the top, right? Take your number. Remember, it's 8 down the side, right? We need to have at least 8 in here. So count 8 plus 1. So it should be, you've got your middle one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus 1, leaves you a space of 9 to put that in. That's not for the number, it's for this little guy. Leaves you a space of 9 to put that in, and then you stitch your next one on. And this may take you a little bit of experimenting until it fits right. Okay? Below your little motifs, you want to stitch your letters on about 3 spaces below. Okay? And then 2, 3 spaces below that, you start your first line, and then you're doing 9, line, 9, line, 9, line, all the way down. Flip the bad boy over, start at the bottom. I'd start about 2 from the bottom, 2 or 3 from the bottom. Line 9, line 9, line 9. You get it? And that gives you tracks to put everything in. Okay? And then when you're ready to do your numbers and your letters, just try and make sure you center all your numbers and letters. All of the months are done with 3 letters. So just figure out how you best want to abbreviate them. You want to do 1 through 31 for sure, for numbers. And then for extras, this is the recommendation. Do an extra 2 zeros, 3 extra 1s, an extra 2, an extra 3, no, 2 extra 3s, 2 extra 4s, It looks like there's a whole bunch of 6s, but 6s and 9s are made the same way. You just flip them. And then an extra 7 and an extra 8. For the months like November, where you only have 30 days, you can store your 31 on the back. Woo, there we go. Store your 31 on the back. And when you're ready to switch days, just push the whole little guy over to however far you need to go. This is hard to do looking in a camera. Push your little guy over as far as it needs to go and add in the numbers you need to add in. I've been using this calendar for, like I said, about 25 years. This was originally made to go with all of my purple in my room that I have mentioned before in other places. So yeah, this is a relatively quick project. If you sit down and work at it pretty diligently, you could probably have this done in about 2 days tops. Like your first time, I would say give it 2 days. After that, I think I can build one of these in a day. But I've built several of these. I've probably built 1.5 dozen of them. So there's kind of a pattern to them. And there's a mess in this bag. Hey. So yeah, that's kind of a fun little project. I thought I'd show you that real quick. And I'll probably be showing several different types of projects over the next couple of weeks. Things that you can kind of throw together either as stocking stuffers or as gifts for people that you care for but you don't really know what to do for them. You know, like calendars, things like that. I would make things like that for nieces or nephews or even grandchildren if I had any. Not that I'm thinking about having grandchildren. But I would make that for like younger people in my life maybe who may not have the appreciation for a calendar actually, but you know, it is what it is. But I would maybe make that for people like that to help them learn how to kind of manage their time a little bit better. So I hope you kind of enjoyed that. I know that was a fast slam through on here's a craft, go. But I hope you got something out of that. If you have any questions about the construction of it, drop me a line. I'm pretty good about getting back to questions and trying to clarify what it is that I'm trying to say. So if there's anything I said that wasn't horribly too clear, let me know. I'll get back to you in the comments. So have a great day. Have a great weekend. We're enjoying some unseasonably nice weather. Yay! Before the snow comes. No! And I will see you guys again next week with a different project of some sort. So, bye!